To sum it up in terms of features and gameplay, Super Sluggers is just Superstar Baseball Deluxe, with one big caveat. Other than the motion controls, the way that the challenge mode in this game functions is the biggest change from the original. After playing the challenge mode of the original game for a while, I could see people being disappointed with how they did things in the sequel. Look, Super Sluggers campaign is still very fun in my opinion, and I have beat it multiple times because I find it so charming. But it's probably a bit weaker in terms of actual gameplay and pacing. This game's challenge mode operates more like a point-and-click adventure game. You don't have the options of picking different starter captains, you just start with Mario, and you slowly earn the other captains as you play one large campaign instead of a bunch of tiny ones. You then recruit players through simple puzzles and challenges rather than missions during an actual game. This is a great way to slowly teach techniques to the player, but you play a lot less actual games of baseball than you'd think. This challenge mode does a better job at keeping things varied and interesting, but it can drag on a bit more than you might want in certain sections. With that being said, these fully explorable environments are actually pretty cool to look through, and I think it's definitely worth a playthrough if you're a fan of the core gameplay and of the Mario series. A cool aspect to this mode is that you can rush through to the final matches against Bowser Jr. and Bowser as soon as you have a full team of 9. They might be the crappiest group of misfits you've ever seen, and you may be abandoning most of Mario's friends when they're in danger, but you can do it. I've tried this once, and it's actually a bit of a fun challenge, because as I mentioned before, this game is actually quite easy compared to the last game, at least in my opinion. Once you're finished with the game, you can spend some time gathering any stragglers around the world that you might have missed. Finishing the final battle with each player on your team at least once lets you select the star player version of them in the character select screen, which basically just increases their stats. So you definitely have a lot of content to play through, and I think you'll have a great time, especially if you enjoyed the first game. Although if you've never played either and you're able to access both, I would recommend playing Sluggers before Superstar Baseball. Even though Sluggers is the newer game, its easier difficulty and tutorial-esque campaign challenges will help you learn the basic fundamentals of both games a lot more naturally.